Vacuum sealing mason jars is a game changer for food storage, but if you don't do it correctly, it can actually be dangerous. And to make matters worse, there's so much misinformation out there. Today I'll cover how to use these jar vacuum sealers safely. By the end of this video, you'll understand the science behind it so that you can make smart choices. Okay, let's get this point out of the way because it's super important and really cut and dry. Jar vacuum sealing is not canning. Canning is a heat process using either pressure canning, boiling water bath canning, or atmospheric steam canning. Anyway, the point is, jar vacuum sealing is not a canning process and does not create shelf-stable product. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the benefits of using a vacuum sealer. I like to call it food storage 2.0, meaning it's a more effective way to store food. All three of these methods will seal against moisture, whether you use a traditional food storage container, a tightly sealed Ziploc baggie, or a sealed mason jar. They'll all seal against moisture, which is important because yeasts and mold, bacteria, including botulism, they all need moisture in order to grow. Moisture also ruins the texture of dry and crunchy foods. I'm sure that everybody has experienced having crackers and chips become soggy during humid weather because they absorb the moisture in the air. So all three of these methods will prevent that from happening. But jar vacuum sealers take it a step further. Not only do they prevent moisture from getting into the jar, but they also suck the air out of the jar, including the oxygen. This is key because oxygen is what oxidizes food. It depletes the nutrients, it changes the texture, the smell, the flavor of food, and it's also the main reason why fats will turn rancid. So by removing the oxygen and making a tight seal, foods will stay fresh longer. But there are important safety concerns that you need to be aware of. So listen carefully so that you don't make any dangerous or even deadly mistakes. It's true that vacuum sealing limits the growth of food spoilage microbes. So foods that are vacuum sealed are less likely to spoil. But here's the problem. There are these pathogenic bacteria that can get us sick, such as botulism, that actually thrive in a low oxygen and no oxygen environment. So vacuum sealed foods can become a hotbed for these types of pathogenic bacteria, which can get us really sick if other conditions are also right for these bad guys to grow. So you really have to know what you're doing, which you will by the end of this video. By the way, foods that are contaminated with botulism, they don't necessarily taste or smell any different. There really are no telltale signs. Vacuum sealing foods in jars or even packages to be put in the freezer is a great way to prevent freezer burn and seal in freshness. The freezer also stops microbes from multiplying. It doesn't kill them, but it does make them dormant. So it's perfectly safe to vacuum seal foods and put them in the freezer. Just make sure that after you vacuum seal, you pop them in the freezer. Don't leave them sitting out on the counter. That's not an option. By the way, not all mason jars are rated for freezing. It'll say right on the box. In my experience, the smaller jars plus the pint and the pint and a half are rated for freezing, but not the quart and half gallon. And leave enough headspace because your product will expand as it freezes. Some jars even have the words fill line etched right onto the jar so you don't overfill. Once vacuum sealed jars and packages are removed from the freezer, microbes can begin to multiply. And of course, the big one that we're concerned about is botulism because we're talking about an anaerobic environment which they thrive in. There are specific safety measures for thawing all foods in general, which I hope you know, meaning that you should thaw foods either in the refrigerator or in cold water in a pot of cold water as an example, where you keep refreshing the water to make sure it stays cold. However, fish and seafood, even if you put it directly into the refrigerator, could still grow botulism. So you have to break the seal on packages of fish and seafood in order to be safe. It's really important. I'll leave links down below to relevant fact sheets that explain how to safely thaw frozen foods. Okay, let's talk about dried foods next. Not only is vacuum sealing dehydrated food safe, it's a fantastic way to extend their shelf life. And we're talking about all manner of fully dried foods, such as herbs, nuts and seeds, beans, lentils, grains such as barley, oats, crackers, pasta, chips, and so much more. This is key not only for short-term storage, but it's especially beneficial when you're trying to stockpile a lot of dehydrated foods for long-term storage. And depending on how much oxygen has been sucked out of the jar, it may even kill insect larvae and eggs. It's summer in New England, so we've been having a lot of humid weather lately. So after opening a fresh bag of chips or crackers, cereal, etc., I like to pour them into a mason jar and then vacuum seal. When we want a cracker or whatever's in the jar, we simply break the seal and open it up, take what we want, and then reseal so that it doesn't get soggy. I want to point out that many dried fruits are still moist. They're not fully dehydrated, such as prunes, raisins, apricots, and more. So I question the safety of vacuum sealing moist dried fruits. Let me know what you think. Here's a tip for sealing flour and other powdery foods. To prevent these type of foods from being drawn up and out of the jar when vacuum sealing, create a barrier by laying a porous material on top. You can use a coffee filter, paper towel, or even a cupcake liner. This way, only the air will be drawn out, the lid will seal tightly, and you won't ruin your machine. If using a coffee filter or paper towel, I like to trim them so they lay flat. This makes it easier to remove later on without spilling the flour or whatever you're working with all over. Cut it larger than the diameter of the jar so you don't leave any gaps. This way the powder won't escape. Cupcake liners are actually a very good size. So we've established that botulism spores and the bacteria don't grow in the freezer or in a dry environment. They also don't grow in an acidic environment of pH 4.6 or lower. And acidic foods include fruits and berries, pickles made in an appropriate brine, and some tomatoes. Not all, because some are actually not that acidic. The reason that I'm explaining all of this will make sense in just a few minutes. Next, let's talk about the refrigerator. We know that putting vacuum sealed foods in the freezer is safe. Well, as long as you put them directly into the freezer and as long as you thaw them properly. But what about vacuum sealing foods and putting them in the refrigerator? Are we sure that all foods can be stored this way, and for how long? All these questions started popping into my head. The manufacturers of vacuum sealers say it's safe, but I wanted to hear from more official sources. So I did some research, and I was surprised at what I turned up. My big concern was, could these bacteria that love an oxygen-free environment over time actually grow in the refrigerator? What about after a week or 2 weeks or even more? So I spoke to this nice gal, Amy Johnston, from the Minnesota Extension Service. She's a food safety educator. So her stance is that jar vacuum sealing should only be used to extend the life of refrigerated foods for a few days past what it would normally last. And then I found an interesting article written by a food safety specialist from Kansas University. Her name is Londa Nwadike. and the article is entitled Vacuum and Reduced Oxygen Packaging. I'll just read this one quote and then I'll leave the link to the full article down below. And it says, "The extended shelf life possible with vacuum packaged products allows pathogens such as C. botulinum and listeria that may be present to grow slowly over longer periods of time, even at refrigeration." Yikes, so all of this research actually added more fuel to my fears. I'll continue to store my fresh picked blueberries this way. These are from our garden, but only for a few days until I've gathered enough to make a batch of jam. And I'm going to continue to store my citrus this way because it's so acidic. I'm not worried. And I'm going to continue to keep my hard cheese in the fridge this way. This is Pecorino Romano. Not only is it low moisture, it has a pretty high salt content, so I'm not concerned about botulism. And of course, you can store any of your vacuum sealed dry goods in the fridge if you want. I do that with my Brazil nuts and my flax seeds, and also with my pine nuts. The oils in these products tend to turn rancid easily, so I know that by vacuum sealing them and storing them in the refrigerator, they're going to stay perfectly fresh. Feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts and experiences. I'd really love to get a dialogue going on this topic. Some of the countertop units, such as this Food Saver, come with a jar vacuum sealer attachment. One end of the hose goes into your unit, the other end goes into the cap, and they do work really well. In more recent years, these handheld, battery-powered portable units have become available, and they work pretty good too. But there's pros and cons to each. This is more convenient for pulling out when you want to open a jar and reseal it versus, pulling out the big one. But this one is more powerful, so it draws out more of the air and creates a better seal. I'll demonstrate so you can hear the difference. It's pretty loud because it's a strong motor. Okay, so that's this one. Now, here's the handheld. It's a big difference. They do work good, it's just that this one works better. So, if you're vacuum sealing dehydrated foods in jars for long-term storage, and if you have one of these, I suggest using it versus the portable model for best results. These handheld units, they come with rechargeable lithium batteries, and when the battery gets low, the motor is less efficient, and then it draws out less air, the seal isn't as strong, so just make sure you keep them well charged. I hope this video has been helpful. If so, please hit the like button and subscribe, and thanks so much for watching.